How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Bryant back at it again with another episode of the High Notes Podcast. I'm joined here with my co-host,
McNasty in the building. Welcome to the Emergency Pod, episode 2.
Part 2. We're doing part 2 of the emergency series because we had technical difficulties with the episode from technically episode 11.
This is technically episode 11. Well, let's jump right into it.
Yes, sir.
No bullshit today. We also got Melly here. He's a little tired. All right. Talk to me.
All right, McNasty. So right off the bat, the stock market this week is in free fall. We're looking at $4 trillion has been dropped off of the market out of nowhere, seemingly, due to fears of a recession. What do we think on this?
I mean, once a rumor starts circulating, people rather be safe than sorry and start pulling out their money quick.
What do you mean, out of the market?
Yeah. I mean, if I hear something going on, I got like 15 bands in there, take some out.
Now, here's the thing. You really shouldn't do that because you end up losing more money in the long run. So technically what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just wait it out. That's your best case scenario.
Yeah,
but most people
wait it out. Let that shit just fully fall and then you don't have nothing.
But you're not actually losing. You're losing the value. No. You're losing the value of the stock, but you're not losing the shares that you actually hold in the stock market. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So
I was thinking something like crypto. Pay the crypto, and then that shit just tanks. You're not going to wait it out because then you're going to lose it.
The problem with crypto is that you don't know when it'll go back up. If it goes back up.
I mean, you could say that for anything.
That depends. So for, let's say like the stock market, let's say like it's a company. If a company goes under, chances are one of two things normally happen. Either one, the stock ticker will be removed completely and then you lose all your money. Or two, normally what they'll do is that they'll do something like Nissan where they'll make a deal and they'll try to actually get bought out. So if that happens and they do a merger, the stock ticker actually will even double in some cases if it is the case.
So you want people to pray and hope that if a company is going under, they find a merger somewhere to save your money.
Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, that's what stocks is. It's gambling. It's gambling.
Yeah, man. And for you longtime listeners, if y'all peeped this, about 2 to 3 episodes ago, Bryant gave his top stocks, and then right after, that's when the market started to.
So am I really going to take the blame on this?
And now you're telling people that if the stock drops, just wait it out. And you sound like a rug puller. You sound like a rug puller.
I will say I am still holding the shares and companies that I specifically gave in that other episode. But the rest of my positions I did withdraw. Luckily, I did it the week that Warren Buffett also withdrew from the market. So I aligned with Warren Buffett. I saw the red signs coming all over the place, and I was like, time to leave.
Let me point this out, audience. He was just here telling y'all to wait it out. And now he's saying that he saw his daddy Buffett pull out, so he pulled out too.
In Buffett, we trust. That's the most I can tell you. But McNasty, I also in that last emergency episode talked about the Twitter trolling that I was going to embark on due to the absolute nonsense that happened to my student loans. I have an update to give to the audience. I actually discovered there is no such thing as free speech on Twitter. Do you want to know what happened, McNasty?
I do. So run me down. Wait, let me just guess. Because you're not on there dropping the hard R.
No.
You're not.
I used to do that on a different account.
That's crazy. What was the profile picture?
Don't worry about it. Those tweets are probably still out there.
Got Brian keeping racism alive. Nah, go ahead when you're update.
But see, now the problem was that I went out and pretended to be a Trump supporter. That was my entire prerogative. But the thing that I was doing was that I was the extreme version of a Trump supporter, meaning that I supported all the bullshit that he was saying. No matter how dumb it was, I was making sure that I aligned with his views. Now, Twitter, for whatever reason, had no problem with me saying that we should follow in the footsteps of Nazi Germany. I didn't hear a peep. right? And then more recently, I was arguing with two Canadians that were talking about, all the Americans always talk about the Second Amendment, this and Second Amendment. Why are you guys using your Second Amendment? And I was like, listen, buddy, the Second Amendment is for when you don't like the government. This government specifically, I want them inside me. That's what I said. I want them inside me.
What's the point of this story, bro?
Within seconds of me posting that, right? Within seconds, got a community, not even a community, no. It was like my account got locked. It got locked. It told me that in order to verify my identity and make sure that I'm a real human, they needed me to do like a little puzzle. Like it literally was a puzzle. It was like a bunch of like kids' toys that you had to like match the numbers up to make sure that it added up to the number on the left-hand side. I was like, I have never in my life had to do something like this. Like on any fucking platform I've been on. After that, seconds later, after they verified that I'm a real human, they then send me out a notification telling me that my account is restricted.
Oh,
McNasty, how the fuck is that free speech, McNasty? Explain to me. I'm tight.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I worked at X and I see you posting that you want the administration inside of you, you're getting banned. You're getting blacklisted off of that site.
I thought it was funny. It was funny, McNasty. I will say, in 2 weeks, from going from inactive on Twitter to going back to just straight trolling, 1,700 impressions in a single 2-week run. I was doing numbers. Nobody was following. I don't know. Nobody was following. I was trolling. Nobody was going to follow me. But yeah, 1,700 impressions. They did not like that at all.
Nah, you had too much following, bro.
Yeah, if you would have given me a month. Oh, man. My ultimate goal, my entire goal was to try to get one of the really big accounts to just retweet. That's all I need.
That's really all you need.
Oh my God, I would have gone crazy on Twitter, bro. I would have paid for Twitter Blue if one of them would have retweeted. I would have paid for it just so I could fucking go off on everybody. But
so you're waiting for the verification to go crazy.
That's all.
Switch up on them.
That's all I would need. That's all I would need, McNasty. It would be endgame for them. It would be GG.
So Bryant, you know you're 30 years old trolling niggas on Twitter, right?
But it's entertaining to me. And it wasn't like I was doing this like that's my entire life. Like I would do it like here and there. Like I'd send out like maybe 2 tweets a day, max. It wasn't like I was like living on.
You send out feelers.
Yeah. This is
how they feeling today. How they feeling?
Pretty much. That's what I was doing. Yeah, but it was an interesting experience. But I did discover that there's no such thing as free speech on the free speech platform. Well, McNasty, what do we got on the next subject here?
Let's talk about Tory Lanez, man. Free Tory.
I heard this album, bro.
You liked it?
Bro, this was recorded apparently on a prison phone.
On a jail phone, man. And I'd say quality of the album was great.
It was more than great recorded off a prison phone. This was literally, I would say that, if you didn't know any better, he almost sounded like he had Drake in The Weeknd on some of the tracks. If you didn't know any better, bro, am I lying?
For context, this guy hates Drake, but he brings him up all the time. But no, he did have some good stuff going on. I liked how he gave props to Chris Brown.
Yes.
For being the only celebrity to help him out with his lawyer fees, which kind of fucked up because I was like, damn, everybody but Chris Brown paid, didn't pay him? Like, that's insane.
No,
but they don't have to pay him. Let's just get that.
Yeah, it's not mandatory.
I'm saying, like, he has speeches with all these people, and people in Canada, he's putting out for Canada. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. The Weeknd should have thrown some bread.
Just a little bit.
Is he on the Rock Nation?
I don't know what label he's on. I don't think he's on.
He's XO. He's on OVO XO, but it might be like a subsidiary of another company. So I don't know if Jay-Z might have really blackballed these niggas to say no help. What do you think?
What would Jay-Z gain from that? What do you think
Jay-Z signed back in the style, so he's trying to protect her. And they have a good relationship. Like, Beyonce likes her, so obviously they're going to try to remove niggas up the way.
Is Megan Thee Stallion bringing in that type of money that would be worth it?
Bro, she was...
No, currently,
no, she fell off because I think everybody just caught on to what it is. Even, like, there's multiple sources. Even he sent out his album. He never shot her. The lawyer he hired was working both sides. So she was taking Tori's money, but she was fucking with the ops.
Oh, was he?
That's what he said.
Oh.
He named her by name. She went on Twitter and said, this is all she said. At least he got my name right.
Damn.
And I would have been pissed, bro.
I didn't know that part of it.
So it runs deep, man. It's like a big thing. But even like, did you see that conspiracy? Well, not the conspiracy there, but the documentary Megan Thee Stallion dropped, like recalling all her events.
No, I didn't.
So
Give me a rundown, because from my understanding, all right, so here's my understanding of the event that got him landing in jail. So him, Meg, and I guess another girl, another girl were in the car. And then she says that she shot him, but he's saying that he was protecting them or something like that. Like, give me a rundown on that. Do you have like a...
So this is the story that Megan said happened, and this is the story everybody ran.
Okay.
Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know if they were dating, but they were definitely messing around. They were licking each other all over live. This was when
Which I remember
Radio.
I remember this.
It was like a little bit after that.
Okay.
So they went over to Kylie Jenner's house. Kylie, right? And then apparently what happened is Tory was got a little freaky with Kylie, allegedly. This is all allegedly. This is what I heard.
Okay.
And then Megan didn't like that. So I guess in the car back, it was Megan, Tory, her best friend, the driver, right? Apparently Megan was walling out.
Okay.
And then she was spazzing on her and her best friend, on Tory and her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, they got active. So this is what people are saying actually happened. Megan violated her best friend. Her best friend they were all drunk, by the way.
Okay.
Allegedly. Nobody knows how drunk they were, but they were definitely in the pool drinking that Casamigos, drinking that.
They were above the legal limit. Let's go with that.
And then I guess a friend pulled out the strap, tried to shoot, missed. A rock ricochet, like the bullet hit the floor, the ricochet of the rock is what cut up Megan. That
wasn't even the bullet that hit.
She didn't get shot. I don't know why. She didn't get shot. Like if she would have said, "Oh, I got grazed," like the bullet grazed me, that would have been a different story. Because when you say you got shot, I'm thinking bullet hole penetrating, skin all the way coming out the other side. That's what I'm thinking. But bro, that's not what happened. And like I seen the picture of the cut, it looks like it just cut. So I'm thinking, boom, it ricocheted off. She started bleeding, hysterical crying. She had to blame somebody. And I don't think she wanted to blame her best friend. Because what you gonna do? Your bestie or the nigga you just caught cheating on? Come on, man.
You think that's really what happened?
But so that's the story. And I believe it solely because they asked the driver, like Tory asked the driver to testify. They blocked the driver from testifying.
Oh, that's weird.
The driver's the only sober nigga there. Why wouldn't you want him first on the stand?
Like, what the fuck?
Like,
they blocked the driver from testifying. Has the driver given his side of the story?
So they blocked it. I don't know. And if he did, they'll probably suppress that shit to where he can't even speak about it.
No. So if you have like, all right, it doesn't go to court. You can't stop. Did he sign an NDA saying that he's not going to talk about any of it?
Think about what Jay-Z is doing right now, man. I'm just saying, bro. Jay-Z got some influence. Because tell me why, after he got accused of rape shit.
Which I would like to state, I was right again.
Yeah, you were right.
He was not.
I've heard documentaries that with Jay-Z beefing with somebody, he sent people to their crib. He could have done the same shit. Got this girl so scared that she'd be like, no, I lied about it. Because why would he do all this, not even give you a name, and then say I lied? Because that means you're not even, so I believe some people might be just be reaching. Why are you reaching if I'm not going to get proud of it, you guys believe I'm going to get some clout out of it.
At least. At least. Fuck it.
Exactly.
You got to get something out of it. Fuck
so
it.
I don't know. That's up in the air. Free Tory, man. He'll be released. He said he's being released this year. I hope he comes out soon, man.
Yeah, no. Based off of that album was good. I have listened to it about 3 times from beginning to end now so far. I fuck with the entire project. All of the songs were like concise. It was actual like body of work. I haven't heard like an album like that in a very long time.
From a jail phone is insane.
From a jail phone. So this actually proves something though. It's not about what equipment you're using, what studio you're in. It's if you got the talent, you got it. That's it.
Gotcha. Not for real. But let's talk about the next thing, man. We've been trying to avoid this topic, and I don't know why you don't want to bring it up. Kanye West is spazzing right now. Kanye is your favorite artist. which I believe is the reason why you dislike Drake. But wait, aside from him putting Klansmen fucking pictures up and putting porn up on Twitter, he recently put out that he saw a video of Drake and he had a lot of musical books and stuff in the background and that he was jealous. It's like reminiscing and doesn't know why he started beefing with Drake. And now Drake's talked about this before where he goes, I don't even know if I'm Drake before Kanye. One day he's nice to me, the other day he's talking enemies again. Yeah. So it's like, how do you feel about it being a Kanye lover to the core?
I would just like to state he is a mentally ill patient. Sometimes, he might not know where he is cognitively. I think that he might have a mental break right now. He's disassociated from reality. This is not the real Ye.
Once he gets no, you can be so tight. No, but what I'm thinking is this is all in that. Kanye's just doing this to stay.
Oh, yeah. He's hyping it up for the album.
Yeah. It's like he be spazzing, but not enough to where he lands himself in legal trouble.
No.
He's like testing the water.
Yeah, that's literally what he does.
Think about it. If Kanye wasn't tweeting or spazzing out, you wouldn't hear about him. The last time you would have heard about him was when he became a billionaire again. And once he became a billionaire again, I gave him some slack. I was like, yo, they shitted on you. They said they were going to take Adidas from you. You came back, became a billionaire. I would have done the same shit. Spazzing out. But I don't know, man.
You know who get me the most tight, though? You think I'm delusional? Go on to the Kanye subreddit. Oh, my bro. They cancel this guy every time he tweets some crazy shit. You'll see on Twitter or on Reddit, they're like, that's it. This is my last time defending this guy. And then the next week is like, he still made graduation. If you think I'm delusional, I would just like to state I'm the most sane of the Kanye fans.
So now that he likes Drake again, are you going to like Drake again?
I'm indifferent to Drake. I'm not going to be like I'm the greatest Drake fan to ever exist. That's
you
not.
don't have to be like that because I'm not even like that. I'm just saying, when Drake puts out good music, I want you to be like, time out. I don't want the first thing for you to say is, Griselda put out a better track in 2022. Who the fuck is talking about that? No, who the fuck is talking about that? So the same prompt that you give to Joey, I want you to give Drake. All right?
Hey, we can do that. I'll be fair.
Shout out Kodak.
Shout out to Kodak.
Nigga, you can do big right. No, perk popping gremlin. All right. So in this week's news, talk about some more allegations. Drewski and OBJ were named as they were basically called out by some.
They were defendants in a Diddy case.
In a Diddy case. Now this one, the defendant stated that this happened in 2018. OBJ and Drewski came on to defend themselves. The one that got me really thinking was Drewski came on and said, I wasn't even popular in 2018, which I'm thinking, when did Drewski really pop off? And I remember only really tuning into Drewski in 2020 during the
pandemic. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm just trying to think of, this is a false allegation.
Drewski have met Diddy by then. At that point, in 2018, would they have met?
I don't think
based off of his level of fame.
He was probably like popping on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah, that's what I would think.
Diddy's a multi-billionaire. He's not just gonna fly out, and they're not even from the same spot. Drewski's from Atlanta, Georgia, and he don't even like really live in Atlanta. He lives like in the boonies somewhere. And then Diddy's up in New York, like. He wouldn't really fly out, at the time, an IG comedian saying, I don't know. Now, I'm not defending Drewski because we look alike, but the timeline I really added up. And then how the fuck did OBJ get brought into this? At least with Drewski, they have a skit together, and where, have you seen that skit? He's drinking like his tequila, and then Diddy pops out behind him in a roll.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
That was unpopular.
Yeah,
but I mean, OBJ has been a celebrity in New York for a while now. So that
never heard of a scandal like this from OBJ. So this is really far off from like his at least his persona in real life. Right?
Yeah, man.
Do you think they're guilty?
Nah, I don't think.
I don't think so either. I feel like it's really cash grab.
OBJ gets hurt walking down the street, man. I don't think he'll attend a Diddy party with all that baby oil slick, tear his ACL and have to get his leg amputated. Come on, bro. I don't think that. I think these are getting a little ridiculous. Yeah, because at least like before, let's say you're a celebrity, you brush up against somebody. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh, he touched me inappropriately. That used to be case. Now it was just like, they're just flipping through IG reels and be like, yeah, let me get some cash.
There's a cash grab.
Exactly.
I'll find a lawyer.
All right, this brings us to the ad break. Gentlemen, do we want to give the audience, if they are enjoying this episode, where they could find more of our socials and our video portions of these episodes as well? If you're only listening to the audio, we do drop video portions. Do you want to tell the audience, Big Nasty?
Yeah, you can find us on all major platforms like YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Breaker. You can also join the conversation on our Discord as well.
If you liking this episode, like, subscribe. As McNasty said, you can go to the link tree, follow us.
Which leads me to my next story, which just popped up, which is Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
Apparently,
Yeah, explain this story to me. I've seen him on the.
you know who Le'Veon Bell is.
I know who he is, but I don't know.
Who's Le'Veon Bell.
He's an NFL player, isn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
He was very good. And now he's doing podcasts. No, he's on Twitch.
Okay.
He's been on a couple podcasts. So yeah, he's recently been at a Trump rally.
Okay. So what's the scandal itself? Like,
So the scandal itself was
I seen him on the news, but
there's two stories. He actually went on live and defended himself. So
Okay.
the cousin claims that she was raped by him for 10 years. Sued him. I guess he didn't show up to court, and the judge awarded her $25 million. So 10 years for 10 years, right? And the judge awarded her $25 million. Because he didn't show up.
Oh, because it wasn't that he lost the case. It was that he just didn't.
He didn't show up. He didn't appear to it.
Okay.
He went on live saying, I didn't even know I had court. Which doesn't make sense, because don't you get served?
Get served.
And then once you get served, so he's saying that they must have forged his signature. He went on to say that that cousin has been with him for his whole career, going to all the games, even when he got traded.
Okay.
So what he was doing was he used to break her off some money because they're family. So then he said they got into an argument because he didn't have it. So she said, "You're not gonna pay me? Bet." And then he woke up to this breaking news everywhere.
See, now the part of the problem, how was he making those payments? Was he making it like a regular bank transfer? Was he giving her actual physical cash?
I don't know how that works. I don't know the amount he was giving her, but like, I don't know.
Depending
NFL star player. Now he wasn't the richest. He had the biggest contract ever, but nigga,
it was a reasonable chunk of money.
after you make like your first 10 mil, I walk around with a couple bands in my pocket. I bless y'all little niggas,
right? Low key,
Right?
low key.
So,
Yeah, no, low key.
But he wanted to defend himself, saying he didn't know.
Yeah.
And then he was paying her, basically, helping our family. And then she got mad when she didn't receive a payment for that week, month, whatever he had that skin. So the thing is now we're in the waiting game, honestly.
Yeah.
He's saying somebody forged his signature. He didn't know court was happening and all that good stuff.
Just forging the signature is crazy.
He didn't find out until TMZ reached out to him asking about his side of the story. He ignored him.
Doesn't he have
He texted his phone.
Okay.
He ignored him because he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Next day, they texted him back saying, hey, we're going to release the story. Is there anything you want to add? Or you want to get your lawyer involved? He was like, once they said that, that's when he got alert.
Correct.
This is what he said. He gave him the lawyer's number right away. That's how he found out about everything.
But that's the thing. If you have a lawyer on retainer, your serves and like shit like that, go directly to your lawyer. They'll go to get him to begin with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They went directly to him.
No, if you have a lawyer on retainer, they don't go to you. They don't find you. They go to your lawyer.
Find the lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he does have a lawyer that he hit up right away, that's kind of suspicious right off the bat.
Courtroom episode 2 coming, man. We got to look into that.
That's a suspicious ass case. I don't know, McNasty. All right, McNasty. But then moving on, LeBron goes off on Steph Stephen A. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Oh, so I did see the clips of this. I didn't watch exactly what Stephen A. said on his show or whatever, or like where he said it. I don't know exactly what happened. Do you have a background on that? Like what exactly he said about Bronny?
So basically, all right, let me give you the whole story.
Okay.
Stephen A. Smith is a sports analyst. Yes, he's a sport commentator.
Yes.
I agree with him at this point. If your son is in the basketball league, if he's in the NBA, he has a right to criticize.
This is a protest man. Not even that. He made that to the league.
Now, if he was like in middle school, and you're not doing it, that's crazy. But if he's in the NBA with a bunch of his peers, he should be able to get criticized. Now, as LeBron, I feel for him too, because I feel like
that's my son.
That's his son. He's a rookie. He's playing G League. He's getting shit on every day. And as Stephen A. Now, I never would have thought Stephen A. and LeBron are boys, but it's a way a thing.
LeBron was right that he stepped in, but the way and the time and the place that he did it was the dumbest thing.
I agree. He could have sent him a text.
Not even that. You actually like go like, let's say like outside of in a meeting or something like that, away from the fucking cameras. Like now they're gonna know that that's an easy little sore spot for LeBron. They're gonna get in his head with that. if I'm on the opposing team, I'm getting in this nigga head. I'm like, Bronny sucks ass. And that push at me.
And then when LeBron windmills stuff like, what are you gonna do?
Hey man, listen, it was worth it.
It could backfire. That's all I'm saying.
It could.
But I could see both sides. As a dad, LeBron was right. He checked them. I guess he said something that he found really disrespectful. As a young player, as a developing player, you shouldn't really.
But if you're good enough,
confidence.
If you're good enough to play in the NBA, you're already way above the average person. You should be able to sit on.
Rumor is it's nepotism. That's what I drafted because of.
And that right there should be the reason why people should completely allow for Stephen A. to have his opinion on this kind of shit.
But think about it like this. When Bronny plays in the G League, he's been heating up. He's been dropping 30s. He's been dropping assists.
Because now he's playing with players that are at his level.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have a good G League, the G League is meant for you to develop, and then you come back to the NBA.
Gotcha.
That's what it's meant for. Right? Gotcha. That's essentially what it's meant for. Now it's like you have those developing players, then you have those wash players. And it kind of works out because they could keep playing, keep making money. You have an old star, and now they're bringing in a crowd. So it works both ways. They're scrubbing each other's team.
Yeah. I got that.
With that happening, I guess LeBron is really like, you can't break this kid's confidence. It's only year one. He had like a heart issue this freshman year of college. So he's been through a lot, right?
Okay.
On Stephen A's side, he's just doing his job. He's playing his job. Through the side and speaking how he feels. And as a reporter, I feel like you should have integrity to not choose sides, really. You know what I'm saying? You have to report what it is.
You have to be even.
Yeah, you have to be like LeBron could have been his boy. Like, cool. He probably wouldn't have said anything he said like that. But
listen, again, in this type of environment that he works in, that is literally his job. This is what makes his bread and butter. He has to talk on everybody evenly, because if not, people are just gonna be like, "You're biased."
It's not really evenly. Him and who's the other reporter? Not Colin Hurd. He likes LeBron, but him and another reporter, they literally just did rather guns. But at the same time, you have to expect that because you're the best player in the league. Yeah, best 40-year-old in the league right now. Better than have your league at 40. I'm just saying.
Can't take that away from him.
Yeah. So I think what I really think should have happened is LeBron should have like had his agent call him or shoot him a text like, "Hey, layoff." No, this, that, and the third. But even Stephen A., he was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. He was talking about he felt blindsided because he was invited there by his boss and one of his good friends there, his boss's good friend. So he's over here getting bitched at. He can't really make a scene. Because truthful, if your boss you work for somebody.
You can't do that.
So he's like, I had to take it on the chin. It wasn't going to bring it up until he saw that it was viral. And then the people at ESPN said it's viral. You had to talk about it. Yeah. So, Stephen A. Man, hey, take it on the chin, bro. If anything, this boosted up your stock. Now you can talk about LeBron all you want. If you got a reason to talk about him all day.
If anything, did you see the other news regarding Stephen A. That he is right now leading candidate to be the Democratic nominee for president? What? No. Stephen A. for president is apparently a trending topic in the political sphere.
But how, like, is that a troll?
I don't know. I think he's actually like, because there's no like backbone right now in the fucking Democratic Party and everybody hates him. They're like, put up anybody. I don't even care who the fuck it is. So they would actually prefer to have Stephen A. Smith, and he apparently addressed that on a show too. Like Stephen A. actually addressed it.
That he would run for president.
No. He was approached about being president. And
Yeah, bro. Not gonna pick anybody else. No, pick Neil deGrasse. I don't go for that guy.
I don't know if he would be
We're just going for black people. I'm saying just go for Neil. I fuck with him. He's smart.
Now, who would make like
David Ortiz.
don't do that. No. Who would be an actual like random celebrity that you would actually vote for as president?
Bro, with all the stuff coming out, I don't trust no study.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick like, it would have to be a person who's like, they'll just be president just to be in front of the camera, but they won't really do anything. Like a harmless but that's what I mean. You wouldn't want to pick like somebody who's gonna be harmless, who's just gonna be there and be a face and smile. And
So you want to wait somebody to just crack a joke?
Dave Chappelle.
No.
Oh my
Hell
God.
no.
Oh my
World War
God.
III.
That's bro, he would crack jokes the entire time. Nobody could be mad, bro. Who's gonna be mad at him?
Pretty sure he has like an ongoing beef with the LGBT.
Actually, he doesn't. So this is so confusing. So I know what you're referring to. It was the episode on Netflix that he did, the special on Netflix, where he literally said he made an entire like segment of it was dedicated to his trans friend, and he made that very clear that this was dedicated to that person. And the entire internet only heard all of the jokes he was making, but wasn't actually paying attention to like this was his personal friend. Like he was good friends with this person. So again, everybody took that entire like segment out of context without actually like thinking about, oh, okay, I'm just fucking shooting the shit to my friends. That's what he was doing. But everybody just took it out of the context. But yeah, Dave Chappelle's a goat. I think he'd be
Dave
hilarious.
Chappelle is a go.
He'd be
We
hilarious.
need somebody more teen.
Who's more Dwayne?
Like Paul Rudd. Hey man, he be there.
Oh, I feel like that's a good.
He be giving like the dad jokes.
Yeah. Like he's a little bit less than Ryan Reynolds, so you're not gonna have to do like, you won't have to deal with like him going like off the wall with the jokes. So I see what you mean, though. I see what you mean. That's a good
A
idea.
little teen.
Yo, that's a good idea.
Who else? Who else is the like teen person? Who's just a really nice guy that everybody likes? Well, the guy who played Mr. Rogers.
Oh, he's dead. He passed away, unfortunately.
He would have been one out.
Well, he would have been up there. He would have been up there with like presidents like Jimmy Carter. Like you can't say anything bad.
You weren't even.
No. But I study enough history to know that Jimmy Carter was one of the least hated presidents. He was literally a peanut farmer. That is the least, but the most benign thing that you could do as like a job before becoming president. I mean, you can't be mad at that.
Definition of hard work.
That's a fact.
Who's the
That's a fact.
shittiest president?
Not count
Washington had sleeves.
Not a lot of them actually have sleeves.
Everybody except the weekend.
I'll tell you that. Here's the problem. So I'm reading this book right now. It's based off of like American history and something that people don't outline. So did you know that the Proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation, that shit?
But you read Matt books.
But that.
But go ahead.
But let me explain. So apparently that was actually an ultimatum that he gave. That wasn't actually like just to free the slaves. He was actually giving them the choice of, you guys can keep your slaves, but you have to come back to the North. If not, then we're going to pay you and we're going to take the slaves away. So it wasn't that he wanted to actually free the slaves. If it were up to him, if the South would have rejoined back to the U.S., he would have still had slavery. He would not have stopped it. Like, I'm reading I forgot what the name of the author of the book is, but he's telling history from the point of view of the people that you normally don't hear from. So, for instance, like, did you know that we actually had white slaves as well? Like, that's a part of history that, like,
Wait, where did they come from? Like Ireland, bro.
yeah.
Everybody
So
was a slave there.
the poor, no. But here's the thing: the poor people that came from Europe were actually like, they came in with the expectation that they were going to get freedom eventually. They went into what's called indentured servitude, which is like
I heard that.
you serve,
But I'm pretty
master.
sure the white slaves are probably inside though. They were house slaves.
They were treated better.
Yeah.
But they were still slaves, but they were treated better. I won't give you that. So, for instance, something that the South would actually do in order to incentivize for these slaves to continue on slavery, like after they became free, after those people became free, they actually got like rights and land and shit like that. Like they would actually get shit if you weren't able to gain your freedom. But like in the book, they actually like read like a passage from a letter that one of the slaves was writing. She said, "We're getting treated like horses. We're at the same level as cows." That's how they describe it. Yeah. So it was still slavery. We got to be very clear.
So wait. So the white slave owned that. So they could read and write.
Again, these were just regular people from Europe.
Sure.
Yeah. So they had like a
But they should have money.
They didn't have money when they came over. So in order to do the trip, that's how they paid for it. Yeah, they gave their rights away and just went into indentured servitude. This word. Yeah. So history is way more wild than what we're taught in school. That's something that this book is teaching me. I've like learned a lot of different things that you just don't learn about. Shit is wild.
Let's move on to the next topic, there.
Yes, sir.
So, did you hear the story about the New York Police Department detective caught shaking ass in a music video? So she was a detective for 7 years on the force, and somebody on the force actually commented on it. He remained anonymous, but he's like, "That is insane." Which I saw the video. It is insane, not because she was shaking ass. It's because the music was so trash. Like, you threw away your career for a fucking SoundCloud rapper.
He wasn't even a SoundCloud rapper with the way that track was sounding, Big Nasty. Like, that shit was like one step above Ice JJ Fish.
It was like a 2000s music. Just, you're in a strip club, she's dancing, you're rapping, but the rap is so ass. I'm actually more mad at her than the rap because, bro, you should have heard the track. I don't know how much. If you just wanted to show ass, you could have just done it on IG like everybody.
And everybody would have been okay with it. I think that's why she got fired, for real. It's because of that music.
Did she get fired?
Yeah, I know. She got removed to the force.
Well, of course it's because of music video. She wasn't shaking ass to the fucking iTunes track. Yeah, but she died. Like, that's insane. At the same time, though, it's like now she's popular. She could just put up an OnlyFans. She'll be out there. But I've seen her before. I feel like I've seen her.
Oh, specifically?
Yeah, like in like YouTube videos. But she was shaking ass. She was actually doing her job. So.
I don't think that I've seen her. I don't think that I've seen her at all. Not that I could recall. But yeah, that music video was absolutely trash. I'm gonna be so honest.
But let's I don't even really want to talk about this 10-hour flight. Did you hear about that?
So it was explain this to me. They were on their way to,
So they were in
India or something like that.
They were leaving Chicago, Illinois,
Okay.
to go to India on a 10-hour flight.
Okay.
The flight had to stop because the toilets were so full of shit that they had to make an emergency landing. Now, I don't know where exactly it stopped at, but how much shit they had to take in a 10-hour flight? Because, bro, we've been to DR. That's 3.5 hours. I never had to take that shit. I've been to Cancun. That's like 4 to 5 hours. Never had to.
We went to fucking LA. That's like a 5-hour flight.
5 hours, 5.5 hours. Didn't think about taking a shit. So these niggas were just piling up, right?
All that curry they were eating.
Just shit it out in the plane. That is insanity.
The smell on that plane had to be fucking wild that they had to go, now we're turning this bitch around. like, think about that.
It must have been.
Yo.
Back. They probably. Yeah.
And they couldn't even crack a window.
How does? Yeah.
That's tragic.
So wait, I thought. Now, I think I was talking to you about the movie with Joe Dirt, where they showed like he thought he had a meteor, but it was actually just a clump of shit from the airplane. I didn't think that was actually true. So what? They have like actual septic tanks on the bottom just to store everything, and then you kind of dump it out like an RV.
From my understanding, and the way that the toilet sounds when you press the fucking button,
That shit sounds like it's going straight down.
It doesn't even like shoot water from what I look like.
It's just a suction.
Yeah, that's my assumption. I thought it was just evaporating out of the plane. But then if you think about it, planes that fly over the country, you'd have shit like dropping out of the sky.
I feel like there should be a bucket for that. Like if you're over the ocean,
dump it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, if you're a fisherman, you get shit in the army tight. Especially
That's fucking tragic. Just a fucking pile of shit drops out of you.
just drop down there.
Yeah, I'd be so fucking mad.
All right. So everybody think right in Kendrick Lamar for being on the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
This was the final nail in the coffin to put an end to the OVO taking over.
Yes.
Apparently, Drake got some people on his side. They actually spoke to the FIFA president, and Drake was actually on an interview with the guy as well. And they said that they wouldn't mind bringing on Drake for the halftime of the World Cup.
Do you mind having Drake do a way bigger broadcast than Kendrick just to spite? Do you think that it would even make him? He wouldn't win at this point. It's so late. He already lost. How would that benefit him in any way, shape, or form?
And what? Doing the bro, the World Cup has like 5 billion views.
Yeah. It'll get more viewers, and that's what I mean. It'll get more viewers.
If we put up a High Nose podcast ad there, we'll get millions of views in hours.
We get it. Hundreds of millions. He'll get up to there.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, at this point, if Drake actually does it, it's like, yeah, you did the Super Bowl that I turned down twice, by the way, and I did the World Cup that you would never get to touch at this time.
Damn. That is a fact. Now, my thing is with Drake doing that event,
And
they only want Drake. People only want Drake not because they think the music is good. They only want it because they know that'll get them eyeballs.
But yeah, I guess so. But they already have 5 billion viewers, and it's like,
Then I don't be mad with it. 6 million views.
shit, they could put me up there with a banjo. I'll start singing some shit. I'll leave out of there with a couple record deals. Not gonna lie to you.
At least one country will be like, yo, that nigga's going crazy. One country's gonna do it, bro.
One country's gonna fuck it. I sold out world tour right there. Nah, but I think that's like a great honor, like to do that,
No, that's a fact. I would agree.
because it's like,
You represent your country. Like the Super Bowl is at the stage of the U.S. On the world stage, the FIFA Cup, it's the entire planet's watching, right? Yeah.
that's like the Olympics thing. You saw how Snoop Dogg was in there.
Yeah.
You know how he held the torch. So apparently they paid him like $2 million. He was up with that torch.
Not even that. He was getting paid for every single one of his appearances that he was doing at the Olympics. That's the greatest fucking gig you could find. You just literally have to sit on the sideline and cheer.
Cheer.
That is the greatest fucking job. Oh, bro.
And I think that's so beneficial because he's not in the U.S. So it's not like you have fans all in your face.
Yeah.
You could.
Most people wouldn't even know him.
Yeah. Most people, like some people probably recognize that. They're not gonna be like, let me get an autograph. Oh, he's a famous dude, and then keep it moving.
That's true.
See? Now me, on the other hand, when I was in Vegas, I had to sign like 5 autographs. Not gonna lie.
5 crackheads.
Oh, let's talk about it though. So with the YouTube shorts, well, we've been getting traction.
A good amount of traction. Today's video already had like 300 views before we even recorded.
Before we recorded, and it went up even more. We got a lot of engagement on that.
Yes.
But then there's some videos that get severely suppressed.
So we did pick up on that. It depends on the topic, it looks like.
Yeah.
So-
Especially the topic.
the algorithm looks like it's going through whatever we're talking about in the video, and it decides based off of that if it wants to promote it or not.
Correct.
Now, question: since you're the person that's handling the publishing of, Melly's the person cutting up those segments.
Right.
You were the person handling with the actual like publishing, with the schedule of how it goes.
Right.
My question to you is: when you do send it to public, are you putting in like certain tags along with it? Because maybe you could trick the algorithm. Maybe you can add some tags that are not relevant to what's actually being talked about, and maybe the algorithm will still try to push it.
The algorithm is the one giving me the hashtags, though.
But see,
Recommend it.
so
the
it
thing
knows
is-
because it's taking the you're taking the recommendations it's giving you. It knows already what you're talking about. Yeah.
But at the same time, you could change them. But the ones that they give me,
Even if you change them, they already know. It's too late. Yeah,
they already know. They have a whole system that just.
So here's what we might do then. The episodes that do a little bit worse on terms of the shorts and the traction on YouTube, I am trying to still work on making the TikTok. So something that I found is that TikTok doesn't actually let me make a new account, even with emails that I've never used before. It keeps defaulting back to my main account.
Right.
So I'm working in the process of making the TikTok. What if we start uploading the shorts that don't do well onto the TikTok instead?
That's what I'm saying. Let's see if that works.
Yeah.
Maybe a different platform, or maybe we just keep farming views.
Hey, I am not mad because there's a lot of engagement that we're getting from just the audience based off of the YouTube shorts, and we're gaining in subscribers every episode that we put up on the shorts channel. We keep going up. We're averaging about like two new subscribers a week.
So it's a week. 50 likes every week. Well, more than that on some videos, but on average it's about 50. If we drop 3 clips, so probably like 13 piece. Wrong math, by the way. That's only 39. But the views are up there.
The views are up.
I feel like we're getting all the ADHD kids that just want to watch shorts.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit through the video.
That's a fact. But that should be something that Melly should work on and I can get with him to try to see how we can clip the episodes so that we give just enough to get people interested, but not enough that it gives away like what we're talking about and they don't want to click on the segment. Maybe that could be part of it.
And you don't got to watch the whole video, just subscribe.
If you want, I'm not gonna tell you no. That is a fact.
All right, but I think that's all the topics for this emergency pod part 2.
Yes, sir.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
We're going back on the weekly study.
Yes, we are.
Now, we didn't drop this week, but we did drop 2 videos last week.
Yes.
So should I throw the over? Then we did drop clips. We should call the over again. So this video drops on Wednesday.
It should. We should be good at this point. Again, remember to go onto our link tree. That's linktr.ee/hi notes with an S podcast. You can get all of our socials on there, plus all of the podcast episodes where we upload to off of there as well. If you guys want more content of a specific kind, make sure to comment inside of the videos as well. We'll try to tailor the content based off of what you guys actually want to see as well. We have no problem with that. McNasty. But this closes out episode 2 of the Emergency Podcast. Unfortunately, Melly could not record because we're recording on a weird schedule again. This is the middle of the week. This is normally the day we upload on. But Melly couldn't record with us today, but he will be back with us next episode, and we will go from there. Tell us about the audio quality, too. So, as you guys can see, we also upgraded the mics as well. We want to know if we're going in the right direction or in the wrong direction. I feel like this was an improvement based off of the test clip we tried to run. I think we definitely improved, at least in the quality. So, yeah, we'll go from there.
Sounds good. See you guys next week.
We'll see you guys next week. All right.
Good. That was probably more than what we were expecting.
Way more.
It's probably like a whole episode.
49 minutes. Oh, shit. Stop.